Alright, I wanted to get a video out here about FSR3. I did lots of testing, and we're going to do a little ride here and show it off. So I tested FSR 2.1, FSR 2.2, FSR 3.1, Intel XESS 1.3.1.32. And I tested FSR3 that they implemented, and I'll tell you right now, it's the best that you can get without being DLSS. As far as artifacts, jagged edges, aliasing, it is so good. I've done multiple panoramas here, but I mean, just look at that. It looks great. And the lights aren't messed up. And now I am using the DLSS to FSR Frame Gen mod, so I can switch between them all. But I mean, just look at the lights here. Look at everything. Here, let me turn the sound down. And then let's switch over to Intel XESS. Okay, performance mode. We got ray tracing, shadows, and ultra lighting. And these are the rest of the settings down there. But I have film grain off now that I'm using the DLSS mod. But look, I see a whole bunch of jagged edges on the buildings and stuff. Just really messed up, especially in motion. But this is XESS. Look at the buildings. The whole entire side of the building is aliased and messing up there. Looks horrible. And it's only in motion. Like if you stand still, oh, it looks great. But in motion though, you see all these edges and stuff. Not good. And it really bothers me, so I never like playing with it on. It's better than FSR 2.1, but like I see everything aliased in lines like crazy. And they say, oh, we'll try FSR performance mode of 3.1. Well, right here you go. Here's OptiScaler here. You can choose the upscaler. FSR 3.1. Alright, you see right there? Right up there, it's all jagged edges. So let's apply. Here's FSR 3.1. Everyone's like, oh, we want FSR 3.1. It is not any better. Like all the light post right there ahead of us is all aliased and jagged edges and just looks horrible. All the lights there. So yeah, just standing still is fine, and a lot of people did that. But what you really need to do is in motion. You can see all that. Look at the signs, El Guapo signs. Just, it's really, really artifacts. Lots of jagged edges. Looks horrible. Is it better than nothing? Yeah, but it's not what it should be. But I see all the lights flickering and stuff. So there, I just showed you XESS and FSR 3.1. Now let's go back to FSR 3. And we're going to run that same, boom, all the flickering's gone. Looks great. It's hard for me to see flicker. I mean, I almost wish they had ultra performance mode because I'd do that just to try it. But they only go down to performance mode now. 1080. But I mean, this looks absolutely incredible. And the more I play it with ray trace lighting and shadows with FSR 3 performance mode, the more that I don't even want to turn it off. I really love this FSR 3. Like look at the lights. The lights are nice and steady. Oh, they look great. I don't have a whole bunch of flickering and stuff. And then here's the same area where we're at. But I'm not noticing flickering on the buildings or anything there. It just looks absolutely great. All those windows were flickering the blue and green with XESS. And then right up here, the whole road was flickering. and that's all gone. So I really do like this implementation. You know, if they implemented FSR 3.1 correctly, like Horizon, Forbidden West, Spider-Man. Actually, Horizon Forbidden West had better anti-aliasing and less jagged edges than even Spider-Man and them did. It's just the real fine details really get messed up. And I think it's how the game engine handles these things. But I played Horizon Forbidden West with FSR3 quality last night, 3.1, and it just looks gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous. But I'll tell you what, this is a close second. Yeah, there's a few shimmering and stuff there, but overall in motion, this is better than anything I've seen. To me, it feels like DLSS. And I'm really hoping AMD steps up the game and hey, maybe CD Projekt Red will do one last update fixing this even more, and then, hey, I'm hoping. But I've been waiting to play this game for this entire time because I was doing all this other games waiting for it to come out with FSR3 so I could play the game with ray tracing. And now I'm out of the game so much that I don't feel like going and playing a whole new game. So right now on this character I have 130 hours. But I mean, this looks just gorgeous. I don't see horrible amounts of artifacts. Maybe 5% of what FSR 2.1 had. And FSR 3.1 has just as much. Like flickering and all this stuff. And XESS probably has, you know, on a scale of 1 to 10, FSR 3 is the best. XESS is probably the second best, about an 8. FSR is 10. 3.1 is probably about a 5, and 2.1 is about a 3 or 2. So yeah, XESS is better, for sure. XESS is better than FSR 2.1 by loads and loads. But it still has flickering and stuff. Like the fence right here. The fence looks great. I don't know if they've custom designed the algorithm or options for the FSR3 to fine tune it for the game. I think they probably did. Or how the elements are upscaled. But I mean right there, right here, going down this hill. Oh my word, it feels like 4K. I'm actually enjoying the game for graphics again. It's really nice. So I'm excited. Wanted to put this out here. I think it looks absolutely great compared to all the other upscalers as far as jagged edges and certain things not getting anti-aliasing and being really jagged and flickery. Yeah, it's the best out of them all. I think it looks great. And while I'm streaming, I'm getting 110 FPS with ultra ray tracing and local shadows. You know, I don't have more to say, everybody. Now I do turn screen space reflections from high or ultra down to medium. That gives you like an extra 10% GPU performance overhead. But this is incredible. And I wish this makes me happy for owning an AMD card, that they finally got it done. And FSR3 is coming out in a bunch of games, 3.1. It makes me like really excited for what the future software of AMD is going to be putting out as far as FSR4, AI upscaling. And I hope that their 8800 XT coming is just sells millions and millions, and they just get in so many people's hands that everyone has like an 8800 or 8700 or 8600 AMD card, and they just flood the market with them, with good card for a good price. Have all the reviewers come out and be like, you know what, this is a great card for a great price. We all recommend you switch to AMD. If all they have to do is that, but they can't put out subpar products and try to compete with Nvidia. No, they have to put out awesome things at a lower price, get it into people's hands, and then once they have market share, then they can try to extract profit. But this is so much better. But you saw us just drive through here. Let's go back to what this was before. This is why I wanted to get rid of my card and go back to NVIDIA and try to get DLSS. But at the time of buying this card, it was $800 for a 12 gigabyte 4070 Ti. Ludicrous. I said, forget that, I'll get this card. Much more rasterization performance for only $200 more. And I don't want to spend over $1,000 on a graphics card on moral grounds. You know, I would not feed the greed of NVIDIA for 4080 for 1200. No, thank you. So I didn't, and I'm glad I got this card now. But I was really distressed with FSR 2.1 because using that, I mean, just flickers. All the lights are flickering right now. All the light posts are flickering. The fence is really flickering. The buildings are flickering. The signs are flickering. Like I see flicker all over the center of my screen where I normally am looking. All the lights are flickering. It's so distracting. All that stuff there. Just everything. The buildings, the sides of the buildings are flickering. And I want to run down this strip one more time, but the palm trees are flickering. Everything's flickering there. The cars, all the light posts and lights. I think they did modify it though. It doesn't look like the lights themselves are flickering as much. So I wonder if they fine-tuned the FSR 2.1 a little bit. I think they did, to be honest. But all that flickering underneath the lights, it's ridiculous. And if you go to look up there, oh, beautiful building. Look at all the flickering. Look at the fences flickering. I couldn't stand it, so I'd rather just play native 4K than do that trash. But here, FSR3, let's do the same exact thing. Oh my word, all the flickering's gone. A little tiny bit on the fence, but compared to before, it's not distracting. Like all the building up there in the background, all the buildings look great. And going down the strip here, all the flickering's gone. Yeah, the buildings aren't flickering. There's a tiny little bit in that one building in the very far end of the street. But all the lights aren't flickering. Just a little tiny bit, but it's so much better. 90% better. Like, I can play like this, baby. This is so much better. But I'll come up here and turn around and go back down the strip, and that'll be it for this video probably. But I've been waiting to finish Phantom Liberty, and then I got into the game again, doing missions and stuff. But just driving around with FSR3 performance mode on, I don't want to turn it off. With FSR 2.1, I just want to turn it off all the time. But you can see, right there, a pass with one and pass with the other. Oh, it's so much better. And last but not least, oh, Frosty Bud, Intel XESS is so much better. Okay, here we go, performance mode. Let's look at it. Immediately the lights are flickering more there. Let's look up at the buildings up there. Yeah, the flickering on the purple lines. And on the signs up there. Lots of flickering, jagged edges. All the lights are flickering worse than ever. The buildings are flickering. The signs are flickering. More signs to our right are flickering there. At the end of the street, it's really flickering. I see the building flickering. The walkway up above us flickering. So yeah, I really think, well, I know for sure, FSR3 has a better upscaling than any other mode except for DLSS, because I've tested every single one of them. And look at the flickering, it's just horrible. Even that sign, hate your meat or get a job sign. But here, just stationary. All the signs are flickering. And the lights at the end of the street down there are flickering. But it's down to the two best upscalers, XESS 1.3 and FSR3. And then here's FSR3 of that same image. Look, the lights down there, oh my word. Not even flickering at all. Now the foliage might, like a bush here and there, but there's not a lot of bushes in the game. There's a lot of buildings and signs, and I don't want them to flicker. Like none of them are flickering. This looks great. Absolutely stable, less flickering, less jagged edges, better anti-aliasing. It's completely playable and enjoyable. So there you have it. I wanted to put out this 15-minute video because I was doing testing for about an hour, checking all the upscalers. And then here's proof that I can change upscalers on the fly. There's FSR 3.1, 2.2, 2.12, and XESS. And people say, well, they used FSR 2.1 in this game. I don't know. Maybe they made a custom version. But that looks really good. My controller's shaking, I don't know why. Must be an earthquake. There we go. But look at that. Looks so good. The way it should. But here, let me kick over to FSR 2.2, which everyone says that is what FSR 3 is based on. So there I applied it. Let's turn on DLSS Super Resolution. That will use the FSR mod. Apply. I think it's better. I think FSR 3 is better than this. Yeah, look at all the lines out there all messed up. This is FSR 2.2. And then here's 2.1. Boom. 2.1 is flickering out there like crazy. And 2.2. 2.2 is flickering like crazy. Until XESS, apply. Less flickering than the other two of them, but still some flickering. That's a lot better than the other ones, but the bottom of the sign and stuff flickering and stuff. The bottom left and the bottom center edges. Well, that's a lot better than the FSR 2.1 and 2.2 crap. And then here's everyone saying FSR 3.1. Here we go. All flickery. All flickering on the sign. It looks bad. Look at that. Wow. Horrible flicker. So there you have it. I tried them all. I don't know what else to tell you. All four of these suck. They are not good. I'm going to leave it on FSR 2.3.1 just to go back for reference as needed, because we can do Intel right here. So let's go to actual XESS performance mode. This is the official 1.3 implementation. It's still jagged edges though. There you go. You can see all the edges. See, if you're stationary, yeah, it looks better than all of them else. But when you're moving, you don't want jagged edges and lines and flickering. And then let's finally do FSR3 performance. Here we go. Is it flickering like crazy? No, it's not. It's better than all the rest. Look at that. I'm even trying to do a little tiny spot of flicker on the one side. But hopefully you can see it with your own eyes that they did really good. This is better than any other upscaling available. 2.2, 2.1, XESS, FSR 3.1. I don't know if it's how they implemented it or what. Or if they made a special fine tuning of the algorithm. But there you have it, folks. My name is John. I recommend FSR3, upscaling, and CYBERPUNK. It's absolutely wonderful. Looks great. Makes me want to just go drive the car around town. But alrighty, I'm gonna go do some other things right now. Have a good day, God bless. I hope this helps some people. If you do, and watch this whole thing, thank you. Like and subscribe, please. That really helps grow the channel. We can do some more things, more testing, and I can show you what other people won't. I mean, I don't know anyone else with OptiScaler up there showing them all